Long ago, in the universe, since prehistoric times, communication has evolved slowly by slowly over the decade and it's still in progress. Communication is a dynamic process and it is a part of every person's life. But what is the history of communication? That is where our discussion begins.
Communication can range from very subtle process of exchange, from carvings into a rock surface up to communication technologies. In fact, the oldest way of communication was cave paintings, a form of rock art back in the Upper Paleolithic age. The oldest known cave painting is located in Chauvet Cave, dated around 30,000 BCE.
The paintings were mostly composed of animal paintings and handprints of humans and footprints of animals, which are very interesting to look at and a mystery.
These paintings contain increasing amount of information. People may have created the first calendar as far back as 15,000 years ago. It made us all curious and think, how the heck they just did that? And obviously those who carve on the rock surface are trying to say something because it's also an art. And art is expressing your emotion after all. The connection between drawing and writing is further shown by linguistics. In ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, the concepts and words of drawing and writing were one and the same.
Next, let us talk about Kish tablet. It is a limestone tablet filled with protocuneiform signs that convey meaning through its pictorial resemblance to a physical object. It is similar to the ancient Egyptians' hieroglyphs writing, which date back to around 3200 BCE and found in the ancient Sumerian city of Kish. It has inscription considered by some experts to be the oldest form of known writing. Written language appears to have come about around 1200 BCE in China and around 600 BCE in the America. Some similarities between the early Mesopotamian language and the one that developed in ancient Egypt suggest that some concept of a writing system originated in the Middle East. However, any kind of connection between Chinese characters and this early language system are less likely since the cultures do not seem to have any contact. The first non-glyph writing system that do not use pictorial signs is the phonetic system. With phonetic systems, symbols refer to spoken sounds. If this sounds familiar, it is because the modern alphabet that many people in the world use today is actually a phonetic form of communication, but it is also has its difference because of the symbols. Over time, various forms of the Phoenician system of written communication began to spread and were picked up along the Mediterranean city-state. By 8th century, the Phoenician symbols reached Greece, where it was altered and adapted to the Greek oral language. The biggest alteration were the addition of vowel sounds and having the letters read from left to right. Around that time, long-distance communication had its humble beginnings as the Greeks, for the first time in their recorded history, had the messenger pigeon delivered results of the first Olympian Games in the year 776 BC. Like, isn't that amazing? I would love to see that happen in our generation.
And as humans neared the end of BC period, systems of long-distance communication started to become more unusual. A historical entry in the book Globalization and Everyday Life noted that around 200 to 100 BC, human messenger on foot or horseback common in Egypt and China, with messenger relay station built, sometimes fire messages used from relay station to station instead of humans. And that is communication start to develop once again. Communication comes to the masses. In the year 14 AD, the Romans established the first postal service in the Western world. While it's considered to be the first well-documented mail-delivered system, others in India, China, had already long been in place. The first legitimate postal service likely originated in ancient Persia around 550 BC. However, historians felt in some ways it wasn't a true postal service because it was used mainly for intelligence gathering and later to relay decisions from their king. Meanwhile, in the Far East, China was making their own progress in opening channels for communication among the masses. With a well-developed writing system and messenger services, the Chinese would be the first to invent paper and paper making. An official named Kai Lung submitted a proposal to the emperor. He suggested using a bark of trees, remnants of hemp, rags of clothes, and fishing nets instead of the heavier bamboo or costlier silk metals. And Chinese inventor Bi Sheng was credited with developing the porcelain device by using sticky clay, iron plate, and covered his plate with a mixture of pine resin, wax, and paper ashes and a smooth board. While the technology underwent other advancements such as metal movable type, it wasn't until a German smithy named Johannes Gutenberg built Europe's first metal movable type system that mass printing would experience a revolution. So that comes in an end, but still communication continues. We, the UM students, promotes that communication is the cure to sadness, so don't be scared to talk. Always remember that there will be always a rainbow after rain.